On this week's episode, Apple debuts the brand new iPhone, Super Mario 64 gets new modifications with features that would have been really awesome if you included them 21 years ago, Nintendo, and finally, PewDiePie broke the internet, leaving us all with the ever-burning question of, is PUBG racist?
You're not even white. You're not even white. Yo, go ahead. Go ahead, bro.
All this and much, much more on this week's episode of the Nerf Report.
Are you listening? Damn. Yeah.
Welcome to the Nerf Report. My name is Brian Chappelle, and let's get straight into this week's news. Modders in the world of video games do not get the love and respect that, quite frankly, they deserve, so I want to change that this week, because this week we received an awesome modification to, well, my most beloved video game, Super Mario 64. This game debuted in 1996, and since that day, it has sucked me down a proverbial rabbit hole, and I absolutely love this game. I can't get enough of it. Super Mario 64 was the first Mario game to utilize three-dimensional graphics, open-world maps, and to this day, it is the highest-selling game on the Nintendo 64, selling more than 11 million copies worldwide. This week, modders by the name of K's Manuar, Melon Speedruns, and Marshy Volt released their Patreon-funded modification of Super Mario 64, titled, well, Super Mario 64 Online. The PC modification allows for you and 24 of your friends to play the beloved 3D platformer together online. Players can play as Mario, Wario, Peach, Yoshi, Luigi, and many more. At the time of filming this video, Nintendo had issued a DMCA against the actual modification trailer, claiming that they, well, have no rights to air this. The DMCA seems to be revolving around Nintendo's music, however, knowing how Nintendo operates, well, a cease and desist letter is probably on the way to these modders. I swear to God, sometimes I think Nintendo's corporate purpose is to be an actual fun sucker. Anytime there's something cool, Nintendo just takes it away from anyone. They're like that kid who throws a birthday party and he's like, hey guys, let's play some board game. But everybody else at the party's like, no, we're cool, we're just gonna mingle, we're gonna drink a little, and you can play board games. No, we're playing board games. Then the guys are like, no, we told you already, we don't want to play board games. Well, if you guys don't want to play board games with me, then party's over. Everyone leave. This party's over. This is why we can't have nice things. I mean, it's just typical Nintendo ruining the fun for everyone. It really makes me admire companies like Rockstar and Bethesda who, instead of shutting down modifications, they embrace them. They stand there and they say as a company that, hey, our developers are capable of making a really good game, but sometimes the community can come up with better ideas than we can. In Apple-related news, Apple debuted their brand new iPhone titled, wait for it, the iPhoneX. Who would have thought that 2017 would be the year of the X? Because not only do we have the Xbox One X, now we get the iPhone X, which the Xbox One X name still doesn't sit well with me. It's still a Project Scorpio to me. At least the iPhone X makes a little sense because X represents the Roman numeral 10, and this is the 10th year anniversary for the original iPhone. But even then, it's just a weird decision. Like, I feel like Apple and Microsoft are trying to use X as a way to be edgy and cool, but it really just doesn't make sense and it confuses the market. I mean, for example, if I created a show called The Nerf Report, and then I came out with a show called The Nerf Report X, you wouldn't be like, wow, that's awesome, I need to watch it. You'd probably be like, well, I don't see why that was necessary. Naming issues aside, the iPhone X is actually pretty cool. The iPhone X features a new 5.8 Super Retina screen. The OLED screen boasts stunning colors, high brightness, and a 1,000,000 to 1 contrast ratio. The phone features an A11 Bionic chip that is capable of 600 billion operations per second. A new design with new durable glass on the front and back of the phone, surgical-grade stainless steel, wireless charging, and water and dust resistant. Finally, I can drop my phone while texting on the toilet and not have to worry about it. The iPhoneX is also the first iPhone to feature Face ID, which allows you to unlock, authenticate, and pay using simply just your face. The final major announcement for the iPhoneX is that it will be the first iPhone to feature wireless charging. That's right, the iPhone will feature Qi capabilities where it allow you to wirelessly charge your iPhone. Don't raise any alarms yet. This doesn't mean that the lightning cable is disappearing. There is still a lightning cable port on your physical iPhone X. If you're interested in the iPhone X, it could be yours for the simple price of $999 US. That has to be a misprint. That can't be the real. Who the hell's gonna pay for that? Never mind. Stupid question, because there's already articles that are speculating that Apple will sell 40 million units of the iPhone X before the end of the year. Is it too late to buy Apple stock? This next bit of news is actually really awesome, and it could change the future of video games as we know it. Eurogamer posted an article this week talking about the behind the scenes of the Xbox One and the new software updates we could be seeing down the pipeline. And one of the software updates we could be seeing is something called Intelligent Delivery. And if the rumors and speculation behind this new software update are true, this is going to be ridiculously awesome. Eurogamer speculated on the features, and it supposedly involves the process of splitting the game into chunks of data and then adding tags to them. Multiple tags can be attached to a chunk, and they can be device specific or language specific. In the case of the latter, this means the game audio or cutscenes in non-relevant languages don't need to be downloaded. In theory, Intelligent Delivery could install just the assets applicable to your region, with other languages an optional on-demand download accessible via the Xbox One Dash. In addition to location and device tags, developers could also specify content-specific chunks. Good potential candidates here would be first-person shooters like Battlefield or Call of Duty. With the Intelligent Delivery system, single players and multiplayer parts of the game can be partitioned off, allowing the user to delete either component if they're not using them. To translate all that technical mumbo-jumbo into English, currently we see game files as 50 gigabyte downloads. Destiny, I think, had a 50 gigabyte download. But inside there was a lot of different language. Cutscenes filmed in French and Spanish, and for someone like me who speaks English and a little bit of Spanish, I might not need Russian, German, or French cutscenes. So they could just make a North American kind of package of the game and reduce that 50 gigabyte download to, well, maybe 20 or 30, saving hard drive space on my PlayStation 4 or Xbox One. But the flip side to this is it also increases the demand of having reliable internet speed for every Xbox One owner. Yes, the initial download is not going to require a big thing. Reducing the size is kind of the latter, but if I could really kind of see where they're taking this, I could see them saying, hey, Chapter 1 or Act 1 of the video game, we're going to have you download that initially. And as you get to the final 15% of that chapter, we're going to download Chapter 2. And then so on and so on and so on. Well, that means you got to be connected to the internet the entire time to have the entire game. That comes a really weird trade-off. It's like, do I really want to wait for the buffering or the loading speeds for an actual video game, or do I just want you to download the entire game up front, and when I'm done with it, I delete it? Is hard drive space really that important? Either way, I think it's super awesome, because as gamers are moving to more digitally downloaded content, it's nice to see that gamers and manufacturers are kind of focusing on that market to see how they can improve their service. And what was probably the biggest news for gamers and content creators this week, YouTuber PewDiePie, aka Felix Schellberg, slipped up on one of his YouTube live streams where he dropped this racial slur.
What a f***ing Jeez, oh my god, what the f***?
As you can imagine, this created a firestorm of tweets where you had people condemning PewDiePie on one hand, and then you had people defending him, saying, hey, you got to understand where it's coming from. I mean, there was a variety of tweets here. You had things like Omega Ozone tweeted, all this controversy surrounding PewDiePie, and I'm just here wondering why he's still even relevant. Philip Is tweeted, PewDiePie saying the N-word so carelessly. Disgusting. I Exude Sarcasm tweeted, PewDiePie said the N-word while streaming. People are shocked. Everyone who is shocked must not game online. Shaq Excellence tweeted, "Good morning. PewDiePie is human sewage. If you defend him, unfollow me. Have a blessed day." Within one day, news outlets from around the world had picked up the controversy, and you had news organizations like The Washington Post, Variety, The Guardian, Rolling Stones, Fortune, Forbes, and Business Insider were all reporting and posting about PewDiePie's slip-up. After 2 days of radio silence, Felix posted the following video in response to the controversy.
Hello, I wanted to make a statement on what I said in my previous live stream. Whenever I go online and I hear other players use the same kind of language that I did, I always find it extremely immature and stupid, and I hate how I now personally fed into that part of gaming. It was something that I said in the heat of the moment. I said the worst word I could possibly think of, and it just sort of slipped out. And I'm not going to make any excuses to why it did, because there are no excuses for it. I'm really sorry if I offended, hurt, or disappointed anyone with all of this. I owe it to my audience and to myself to do better than this, because I know I'm better than this. I really want to improve myself and better myself, not just for me, but for anyone that looks up to me or anyone that's influenced by me. And that's how I want to move forward away from this.
In my eyes, this apology looks very honest and it seems very sincere. I believe that PewDiePie knows he royally screwed up here. Earlier this year, the Wall Street Journal was accusing him of being a Nazi, and him dropping the N-word on a live stream definitely does not help the narrative of people claiming that he is already racist. But the story ends with the fact that PewDiePie has apologized. Those of you out there looking for an apology have found one, and it's time we set our sights on the bigger story here, because quite frankly, there is a bigger story here. And Felix mentions it in the video himself.
Whenever I go online and I hear other players use the same kind of language that I did, I always find it extremely immature and stupid. And I hate how I now personally fed into that part of gaming.
If you've played PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds yourself, you know that there are gamers who use the N-word or racial slurs to be edgy or funny at the start of every single game. You start off on the island, which, for those of you that have never played it, it's a lobby where you sit with all the other 99 players as you wait for the round to load. During this lobby, there's an open mic system where if you don't mute the in-game chat, you run into stuff like this.
Shut the f up, you man.
How you doing with that?
Hey kid, you wanna buy some drugs?
Three with your mouth open on a
Oh, number one.
China number 2.
I gotta put pink town, dude. You hear all these talking? Gotta
China number one.
everybody going to school.
Shut up. Regan. China number you.
Grow up, you Haji fuck. I have a bigger than you. I don't know why there's more Asians on this server than Americans.
Is that why I'm lagging right now? Because these Asians?
Yep.
Kill yourselves.
Asian servers again?
No, you're
Tortilla.
not in an Asian server. You know how to speak a little bit of Chinese.
Yeah.
I swear, whoever's playing that Spanish music doesn't shut the fuck up.
Now, PUBG isn't alone here. Hatred, bigotry, or racism is extremely common in online video games. But only on PUBG could you have an experience like this.
So much looting for nothing, Vinchino, you f***ing Mexican piece of shit. What are you gonna do? What are you trying to do, Vinchino? You're trying to like shoot him? You're trying to shoot him while you're down? You're trying to shoot him? Bro, you better disconnect, man, cause no one's gonna pick you up. Seems like you're gonna die. You're gonna die. You're gonna die after all that looting.
Hey, you.
Yeah, let's go.
My character's not even black. What the fuck? Dude, I gotta kill that guy. I gotta kill that guy. Janet doesn't have a gun yet.
Alex doesn't have a gun.
This building's whites only.
I'm not being black. Don't touch.
Is there any niggas in this building?
Alex, they're trying to kill me.
God, I better not find a here.
Charlottesville's here. I'm serious, Alex. I'm so serious right now. Charlottesville is actually in my room right now.
Wait, isn't that a meme?
Cloud,
No.
Cloud, I found a I found a Cloud, get in here.
They're not killing you?
The last one is extremely disturbing to me, for the fact that I am shocked there are gamers out there that find it funny or entertaining to form a virtual lynching mob and hunt down other people of color. If you are watching this and you were one of those players, I have a very, very simple message for you. You are a garbage human being. Now you're probably asking, well, doesn't PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds have rules to prevent stuff like this? And the answer is simple. Yes, it does. Like many online video games, there is a code of conduct, and PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds rule number 1 of their code of conduct says, do not use any discriminatory language, including, but not limited to, any language regarding ethnicity, nationality, race, gender, religion, sexual preference, or personal beliefs. By making that rule number 1 of their code of conduct, PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds is essentially saying this is the most important rule. If you discriminate against anyone about their personal beliefs, their race, their sexual preference, or their religion, that is a bannable offense. So, the question begs to be asked, why hasn't anything been done to fix this? And for those of you new to this situation, you gotta understand, this is not a new problem. PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds has been out for 7 months now. And 3 months into the game release, a Reddit user by the name of Rumpalicious1 posted this thread where he's talking about the exact same thing. This game is great. I've been having an absurd amount of fun with it, and I've even won my first solo game recently. My biggest issue with this game, however, is the insane amount of racism and profanity that occur in the loading zone and on the plane. Shouting the N-word, or if you are laying on the ground, you are an N-word, and if you are black, you don't have a daddy. It's absolutely unacceptable. I couldn't imagine being a black person, especially one that uses gaming as an escape from any personal issue. We need a way to see what the names of the people who are speaking, so that we can effectively mute/report them and this ridiculous racism in such a good game. The post on Reddit drew criticism from gamers around the world, like this one who said, just mute the game and stop crying. LOL, what Haxorino? After reading the comments, I'm glad I'm not the only one tired of crybabies trying to censor the internet. They're not going to implement restrictions of voice chat. Firstly, because it's stupid. Second, it is a waste of their resources. Lastly, the repercussions of them not doing what you want is people like you quitting, which I doubt they really care about. People with your mentality don't last in certain games for very long. So long term, you are not a profitable bet. Nerdworker92. Pickus asked the question, you're playing an online game. First time? QKeys said, bitching over something so trivial. Mute and move on. Following the comments on the Reddit post, Rumpalicious put a secondary comment kind of giving away for, well, PUBG to fix the problem. The only thing that would be necessary is for reports to send their audio log. From there, they could hand it over to the community, and I'm sure we could all handle it. Plus, free crates for justified auto bans? To which one commenter replied to this idea by saying, if PUBG started to save every single audio file where someone was being racist, they would run out of data storage within the first week. While I was doing research for this piece, I was left with so many questions. Why do gamers put up with this? Why are gamers so quick to say just mute it and ignore it? And allow other gamers to be racist to other players? More importantly, why hasn't Bluehole, the developer of PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds, or Brendan Green, the creator of the game, even commented on the issue? However, this week, Brendan Green did post a tweet in which he said that the BattlEye has now banned 150,000 cheaters from PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds, with more than 8,000 banned in the last 24 hours alone. Brandon Green seems extremely ban happy when it comes to banning players that cheat and jeopardize the integrity of the game. But where is this attitude when it comes to racism or hatred or bigotry that also jeopardizes the integrity of the game? 4 months ago, a solution to the problem was made. And unfortunately, PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds has done nothing to fix this problem. It has been here for the last 7 months, and nothing has improved. Racism is still prevalent in PUBG. In the meantime, Brandon Green will go on Twitter and he'll talk about how he's protecting streamers and banning stream sniping. Or he'll go on Twitter and start an argument with Dr. Disrespect on how team killing is wrong and anyone who does it will be banned. But nothing has been said about the hatred, racism, and bigotry within PUBG's community. Look, I'm not trying to personally attack Brandon Green. I'm not even trying to condemn PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds as a game. I'm just trying to shed light on a very serious situation within a very awesome game. And I also guess I'm trying to raise the question to gamers is, are we okay with racism inside of gaming? As a culture, we are so quick to tweet out our anger about events like Charlottesville. We're so quick to post a tweet about inequality in America and how it's just not fair. We're so quick to tweet out how willing we are to quote-unquote punch a Nazi. But where is the outrage over stuff like this? Where is the outrage of a gamer who is being hunted by other players who are quote-unquote hunting other players because they have a different skin color? Where is the outrage over a player saying that they are lesser than another human being because they are not even white? Where is the outrage? Where is the demand for change? Where is the demand for progress? Do we only address racism when it happens when a celebrity says the N-word? Do we only attack racists when they're easy targets like PewDiePie? Because it's easy to post a tweet about how you hate people like PewDiePie who use the N-word. But it's much harder to stand up to racism and say that it is wrong to its face. And I guess that's what I'm doing here now. Is I am demanding better from our gaming community. I am demanding better from our gaming developers. We do not need to accept this as the new norm and say, just mute the in-game chat. That's the best solution. That is not the best solution. These cowards who sit behind their computer screens and feel empowered by doing this inside of a video game, if they are left unchecked, they will only continue to do this again and again. And they will feel boldened to do bigger and worse things. It isn't hard to imagine a person that is willing to do this in a video game could be the same person willing to do this in real life. Well, that is it for this week's episode of the Nerf Report. If you like what you saw, go ahead and give us a thumbs up down below. If you're new here, welcome! Go ahead and hit that subscribe button to see more awesome videos like this. As always, my name is Brian Chappell. You are you, but more importantly, this has been the Nerf Report. Thanks for watching.